In this episode of the PBD Podcast, host Patrick Bet David interviews Cenk Uygur, the founder of the Young Turks, to discuss various political and social issues. The conversation covers topics such as money and politics, the establishment versus anti-establishment divide, the corruption of politicians, and the 2020 election. Uygur begins by discussing the influence of money and politics and how it can lead to corruption. He argues that both Democrats and Republicans are susceptible to being controlled by wealthy donors. He mentions that while the right has traditionally been associated with corporate interests, the left is now also being influenced by powerful figures like George Soros and Larry Fink. The conversation then shifts to Donald Trump and his status as an anti-establishment candidate. Uygur acknowledges that Trump is not part of the political establishment and that many people appreciate his authenticity and refusal to be controlled. However, he also criticizes Trump for his alleged corruption and ties to wealthy donors like Sheldon Adelson. Bet David counters by highlighting Trump's successes in business and branding. He argues that Trump's ability to build a successful brand and win the presidency demonstrates his unique skills and appeal. He also suggests that the establishment dislikes Trump because they cannot control him. Uygur responds by criticizing Trump's business record, pointing out his multiple bankruptcies and alleged lack of success in various ventures. He argues that Trump's success in branding and marketing does not necessarily translate to success in business. He also accuses Trump of being a conman and a pathological liar. The conversation then turns to the 2020 election and allegations of election fraud. Uygur argues that Trump's claims of widespread fraud are baseless and that he failed to provide any evidence in court. He accuses Trump of attempting a coup and betraying American democracy. Bet David raises the issue of YouTube's changing policies regarding election claims. He suggests that YouTube may have been influenced by concerns over competition from platforms like Rumble and potential leaks of internal communications. Uygur dismisses these theories and argues that YouTube changed its policies due to political correctness and mental health concerns. The discussion continues with a debate over the origins of COVID-19. Uygur acknowledges that a lab leak is a possibility but emphasizes the importance of scientific consensus. He expresses his belief in the effectiveness of vaccines and criticizes misinformation spread on social media platforms. Uygur expresses his frustration with the politicization of science and the lack of credibility that can result from it. He emphasizes the importance of following actual science rather than ideological beliefs. He mentions RFK Jr., who has been critical of vaccines, and questions why scientists are hesitant to debate him. Uygur explains that scientists are concerned about losing credibility if they engage in a debate with someone who is not a scientist, even if they are dedicated to their cause. He also mentions that RFK Jr. had asked him to find scientists to debate him on vaccines, but many scientists declined because they did not want to give the impression that the debate was a 50-50 issue when it is not. Uygur then discusses the skepticism surrounding COVID-19 vaccines and the potential side effects. He acknowledges that the science on this topic is unsettled and that there is a need for further research. He mentions the issue of myocarditis and how the numbers regarding its occurrence have changed over time. Uygur emphasizes the importance of allowing scientists to conduct unbiased research without political interference. He also mentions that there may be an argument for young, healthy individuals to not take the vaccine, but he encourages those who are eligible to consider the potential benefits of vaccination. The conversation then shifts to the current political landscape and potential presidential candidates. Uygur explains that there is a strong anti-establishment sentiment within the Democratic Party, which has fueled the popularity of candidates like RFK Jr. and Marianne Williamson. He believes that there is a hunger for someone who is not Joe Biden and that many progressives are looking for an alternative candidate. Uygur mentions that he has asked several progressives to run for president but that many are hesitant due to the fear of being smeared by the mainstream media. Uygur then discusses his own political ambitions and why he ultimately decided not to run for president. He mentions two major hurdles he would face: his previous loss in a congressional race and the fact that he was not born in America. While he acknowledges that he could legally run for president, he believes that the media would use these factors against him. He also mentions the discrimination faced by naturalized citizens and the need for more inclusivity in the political process. The conversation concludes with Uygur announcing two major developments. First, He declares that the Young Turks is now the mainstream progressive media. He explains that he considers the Young Turks to be mainstream progressive because it represents a category that is not fully aligned with the radical left or the establishment Democrats. Second, Uygur announces the release of his first book, titled, Justice is Coming. He mentions that the book focuses on the need for progressive policies and the fight against corruption in politics. Bet David encourages listeners to purchase and read the book, regardless of whether they agree or disagree with its content. He suggests that readers should engage with Uygur by tweeting at him and posing questions about specific parts of the book that they disagree with, allowing Uygur to provide his own arguments. Bet David believes that engaging in respectful dialogue and challenging one's own beliefs is essential for personal growth and intellectual development. He emphasizes the importance of reading books that may challenge one's existing beliefs, as it allows for a deeper understanding of different perspectives and the opportunity to refine one's own arguments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.